Hi, I'm Maria May from the Casting On Couch, and this is my beginner's guide to cabling. I will be explaining how to achieve this cable using both a chart and written instructions. So I can't wait to show you this. Let's begin. I'm using Signet Seriously Chunky Metallics, so for results similar to mine, marry the ball band tension. You will also need a cable needle, but a double pointed needle works just as well. With my 10mm needles, I have cast on 10 stitches. If you'd like to know how to do the cable cast on, then please check the description for my beginner's guide. Row 1 is a right side row, and we're going to be reading the chart from right to left. So let's begin by purling 2 stitches, and if you look at the chart you'll see the horizontal bars do resemble purl stitches, the finish of a purl stitch when you look at it from the right side. After purling 2, we're going to knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on the chart stockinette stitch is quite often just a rectangle, a blank square. Now we finish the row by purling 2. So that's row 1. So let's turn the work. So now for row 2, and if we look at the chart, this time we've got to knit this stitch because we're working the wrong side. So we knit 2, and then we purl 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again we're knitting 2 at the end. So it's very important that you concentrate and know whether you're on a right or a wrong side row. That does make a big difference when trying to use a chart. Row 3. Now this is a cabling row, so we're working the right side. Let's purl 2, and then we need our cable needle, and we need to slip the next 3 stitches. Notice I'm doing it purlwise, so I'm entering into the front of the stitch. So place those 3 stitches at the back of the work, because we're now going to take the yarn to the back and we're going to knit the next 3 stitches from the left needle, and we're just going to ignore the ones on hold at the back. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now, ensuring we haven't twisted our stitches around, we now place them onto the left needle. 1, 2, 3, and then we can knit them. And that forms our 6 stitch right cross, like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate another way of using your cable needle to great effect, and it's quite time saving. So if I unravel that and I just show you another way of creating this cable, so rather than slipping the stitches like we did earlier onto the left needle, we can just bring the cable needle around, slipping the needle so that we can work the stitches in the right order, and we can just simply knit them directly off the cable needle. But I'm a bit old-fashioned, I like to just slip the stitches onto the left needle. So that's another option for you there. on the actual cable itself. Now we're going to end the row by purling 2. Now row 4 is the same as row 2, and if we remember, we are knitting 2 and then purling 6 and knitting 2, but I'm going to show you all the little rows in full just so that beginners don't lose their place. So I've knitted 2, purled 6, knit 2. So that's row 4. Now for row 5. Now we are simply going to purl 2 and knit 6, just like we did in row 1. So that's row 5. Row 6. Now row 6 is the same as row 2. We are knitting 2, purling 6 and knitting 2. And ending there by knitting 2. So that's row 6. Now for row 7, a bobble making row, and this is what the end result will look like. I've gone ahead and done a few repeats, but what I'm about to show you will still apply. Now there are many ways in which to create a bobble, but I'm showing you a way that I think is the easiest. So we begin row 7 by purling 2, and then we're going to knit 2, and it's the 3rd stitch here that is going to become our bobble, and we're going to do this with increases. So go into the stitch as if to knit, and without taking the stitch off the left needle, we're going to pull through a loop knitwise, and if we bring the yarn to the front, I'm going to purl into the back of that stitch, bringing my right needle through the back there and pulling through a 2nd loop. I'm going to take the yarn to the back and I'm going to knit through the front of the stitch, again without taking the stitch from the left needle. Bring the yarn to the front, and we're going to purl through the front of that stitch there. So if we take a little look, we've now got 4 stitches where there was once just 1 stitch. So if we turn the work, we're going to purl across these 4 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. Turn the work again, and this time we're going to knit 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the work. The next row we're going to decrease, so we're going to purl 2 together twice. So that's 1 set, and purl 2 together again. That's 2 sets, and if we turn the work, you can see we are left just with 2 stitches. Now we can work through the back of those 2 stitches, knit 2 together through the back of the loop, or we could do a slip slip knit. I just think this helps bring the bobble to the front, and if I'm doing this, I generally do it through the back loop. But that would be our bobble completed. Next, knit 3 stitches and purl 2. So if we do a little recap of our bobble making row, we purled 2, we knitted 2, and on the 3rd stitch, the 3rd knitwise stitch, we created the bobble, and then we knitted 3 and purled 2. Row 8 is the last row of the repeat, so we're going to end by knitting 2, purling 6 and knitting 2. Again, it's the same as row 2. And knit those 2. Repeat rows 1 to 8 to build this beautiful cabled bobble stitch. I'm Maria May from the Casting On Couch. I'd like to thank you for watching.